This creepy Hanferd file story is so scary, I almost didn't want to read it. But here I go. So I, being a student, delivery pizzas to pay for school. Saturday night we get a call around 1 a.m. to a motel I hadn't delivered to in a while. That's kind of out of the way. There aren't many other buildings around it, and it's on the edge of our map of the area we delivered to. I drove the 20 minutes and pulled into the parking lot and noticed there weren't very many cars, maybe 2 or 3 for a motel with almost 200 rooms. It was kind of strange, but it was a Saturday, so I figured most people were out, or they weren't doing much business this weekend. I drove around the building for a little while, looking for the right room number, or at least something close to it, and I noticed a van behind me. It was one of those big work vans with the sliding doors, except pretty beat up, and it had this creepy deer skull chained to the front like a hood ornament. I figured they were doing the same thing as me, looking for the right room. I was getting a little confused because I had forgotten that odd-numbered rooms are on the one end of the motel and even-number rooms are on the other, so I had been driving around for a while. I started noticing that none of the rooms' lights were on, and the light was off in the office as well, but this van was still behind me. That's when I started getting a bit creeped out, but chalked it up to paranoia. Being a delivery driver could be like that sometimes. Being a girl driver makes you even more paranoid. This is usually the point where I would have walked into the office and asked the attendant to call the room, and had them come to get the office to get it for safety reasons. I took the turn to the office, and thank God the van stopped following. I parked and got out when I saw the sign on the business of the office door say that says out of business management. Fuck! I should have turned around and went back to the store right then, but I had to come all the way out and just wanted to get it over with. I found the room and knocked on the door, and this older man opens it. He looks like a cowboy, tucked in plaid shirt, boots, and a bolo tie, except his eyes were horribly bloodshot, and his hands were shaking pretty badly. As I handed him the pizza, he thanked me, and even gave me a pretty good tip, and I wished him a good night and headed back to the car. This is when I noticed the van had parked right in behind my car, blocking it in. It started to pull into a parking spot, and I was relieved, but it had just turned around, blocking my car in, with the sliding van door facing me this time. I stopped, scared to death, and for the first time I noticed through the windows that there were more than 5 men in this van. I ran around to the side of the building, trying to go around them in order to get back into my car. I figured if I could just get inside and lock the doors, everything would be alright. I heard the van door slide open in footsteps. I ran faster and cut through an alley, and I heard running behind me. I got into my car, locked the doors, and pulled out the taser I keep in my glove box. A man with a long beard and dirty ripped clothing runs up and starts banging on my window. He yells, "Hey, we want to play with you. Stop being such a bitch and get in the car." I threw the car in reverse. I hit the van and pushed it just enough to get enough room to cut the wheel and get away. I looked back and saw them all getting out of the van and piling in the room of the guy I just delivered it to. I felt stupid for not realizing sooner that he, I'm assuming, set the whole thing up. I made sure to blacklist that motel when I got back, and I'm taking a week off. Talk about a creepy pizza delivery story. Make sure when you order pizza you tip the delivery person good, because remember, they handle your food. See ya.